putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
They're funding the government, and they're funding child health care for 6 years, which is important to you, I would assume, right? You're not getting everything, but you don't have a deadline to do immigration by this weekend. You have a deadline to do immigration over the next few months. So why not take the bird in hand?
Because then next month we come back again. This is the budget for the United States of America. We're in the 5th month of 12 months. They refuse to sit down. We can figure out child health, and we can figure out helping the people in Puerto Rico, and we can figure out community health systems, and we can figure out DACA. We all understand the issues completely, but we can't do this month after month. You can't run a business that way. You can't run a family that way. You can't run the government that way.
What this is it just keeps happening again and again. Right back in 2013, I was pointing out when the president was blaming Barack Obama and saying that they needed a shutdown. The shoe was on the other foot. There was a Democrat in the White House, of course, President Obama. Democrats controlled the Senate. Republicans controlled the House. And there was a threat of a shutdown over Obamacare by Republicans, and it happened. Senator Chuck Schumer said something really important to hear now. This is what he said then.
Basically, it's sort of like this. Someone goes into your house, takes your wife and children hostage, and then says, let's negotiate over the price of your house. You know, we could do the same thing on immigration. We believe strongly in immigration reform. We could say we're shutting down the government. We're not going to raise the debt ceiling until you pass immigration reform. It would be governmental chaos.
Okay. Here we are. Senator Democrats are about to let the government shut down because they aren't getting immigration reform.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. That was I think Aaron Burnett putting somebody on blast going, hey, what do you say about this? This sounds a bit duplicitous. It's only going to get worse for the left. And here's why. They've told a lie, a big lie. Now they're trying to cover the lie. No, this is terrible that they've shut this down. This is unbelievable they would do it. Oh, but you did it. Oh, but hold on a minute. It was under different circumstances. Wait, hold on. Yeah, well, we're on to you, man. I love it. Look, we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to be talking about deleted messages from the FBI, and stuff like that. All the cover up. What we have right now going on with this vote around illegal immigration is nothing but a cover up of the obvious. There was a video that ran while I was sitting in the Fox studios in the green room, and they were talking about all the number of people, Democrats, talking exactly what we said. You cannot put the immigration status of illegals over those who are here legally. That makes no sense whatsoever. Even people at the least common denominator know that. That low information voter knows that. They know, oh, you're going to try to make the Latino thing an issue? Are you kidding? And the only thing that's taken any pressure off of this, quite honestly, is Donald Trump creating jobs. That's been a major thing, the fact that he can keep the pressure off. And so, but that's where all of this will finally circle back in and come together, and it'll be the glue that holds it all together. By the time November of this year rolls around, you're going to see people saying, I have my job because of Trump. My wife has her job because of Trump. My kids have their jobs because of Trump. I'm paying my mortgage because of Trump. My future, my 401k, etc., looks good because of Trump. My investments are growing because of Trump. We feel less of a threat from illegals and the crimes that they commit, which, by the way, is geometrically larger at crime committing than a regular citizen. I feel safer because I don't feel like I'm under the specter of Muslim attacks everywhere. I feel safer because much more of our money is going back into infrastructure. In fact, I like going to the national parks. The roads are better. The bridges are better. The opportunity for me to move from job to job is better. And I'm going to tell you guys, get it through your heads. The public is going to know this. There's no way to keep the lid on this. Wait until they publish the next GDP numbers. And for the third period in a row, we're going to show massive improvements in GDP. Wait until these manufacturing companies start building in these other areas, and you watch these other populations start to grow. As you watch populations of other cities continue to shrink. Cities run by leftists. as common sense comes back into play. And it's already starting to reflect in the polling. I don't even, here's the thing. I don't look at the poll numbers anymore and say, well, I shouldn't say I don't, but I don't care about them, I should say. You could tell me, oh, well, Kevin, the polling now shows Donald Trump is plus 6, moved up 6 points from where he was before. The numbers don't matter. Here's what I'm going to tell you you're going to see in the polls. Don't worry about the numbers. Look for the trend. Trending's more important. So let me ask you this. From a trending perspective, do you believe more Democrats are now becoming believers in the Trump's plan, Trump policies, etc., Trump initiatives, more or less? Do you believe that Republicans, the rhinos, the anti-Trumpers, etc., do you believe that some of them are going, you know what? I got to stop with this negativity and I got to start recognizing him for what he's done. You think that's happening? I'm talking about the trend. Do you believe that the Republicans in Congress follow Donald Trump more now than they did prior to the election or less? What do you think? Do you think that the media can get any more negative than Donald Trump, or will they start to trend more positively? We've already got a story that was shocking to me. We had a couple of, just researchers said, Kevin, this is going to kind of blow your mind. A couple of the periodicals like the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times actually said something positive about Donald Trump and the economy. I mean, I don't have the articles in front of me. If you're waiting on that, sorry, there's no punchline here. But I did see those articles, and I was shocked. I was floored. Like, what? These people actually said something positive about this man? Well, guess what? It's going to keep coming. A lot of the policies that Donald Trump has implemented aren't even kicked in yet. Think about the number of companies that said, we're going to be bringing jobs back, we're going to start hiring, etc. Almost from the beginning, where you start looking at SoftBank, they started right away. But they said they're going to hire 50,000 new employees. They hired 5. There's 45,000 more to go. Apple is bringing jobs in. I think they're talking about 25? What was the number? It was tens of thousands, right? Tens of thousands. IBM said in a year we're going to start bringing back jobs. They committed to 25,000. So here's my point. Most of the policies, most of the things that Donald Trump's done, they haven't even kicked in. When you're analyzing, do I put my money in the stock market? Do I invest in whatever? Let me tell you, most of the things that Donald Trump has done haven't even kicked in. You're going to see a stock market that will probably easily hit 30,000. I remember years ago when they said 20,000 was almost an unachievable mark in the stock market. And Barack Obama got lucky because he just printed money and the left didn't care. So he artificially drove it up. And I've said this before on the show. Donald Trump has absorbed Barack Obama's fictitious stock market with the $8 trillion that he printed in phony money and the $2 trillion that he added to the debt on top of that. He's practically absorbed that. Housing values are now back up. Stock market, I think they said he's added $8 trillion back to the market. That's made up for Barack Obama's fake market. And so now, how do you backfill that? You gotta perform. These companies have to come in here and be rock stars. And that's what they're doing. Companies that probably don't have an ideological tie to Donald Trump, at least at the leadership level, are doing it to it. Or, they're backing him up. They're backing his play. So there's a big lag effect in government. You're seeing 3% GDP, 3% GDP, probably 4% GDP this coming month. And then you're going to see GDPs that go into the 5s, the 4+ and the 5s, and it's going to be extended over a period of time. Look, I don't have a dog in a fight in the market, but I'm going to tell you, if I were Charles Payne right now, I'd be telling you, get your money in the market. it's going to be good for you. So when you look at why the Democrats are in trouble, these polling trends are saying people have quit believing the left. They've stopped believing the hype of Schumer and that group. And they're now starting to say, we want truth. And Donald Trump's giving us truth. And the more he makes liars out of them, the more he makes the fact that he's telling the truth more real. That's bad for the left.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.